Do you want to know why you might be tired this week? Do you want to know why you might be having vivid dreams, heavy limbs, why you might be feeling chest tightness, sinus issues, heavy limbs? Do you want to know why? That's what I'm here to tell you. So hang in there, let's get into it. My name is Gail. I am the energy-led woman. What that means is I lead my life energy first. So I am tuned into the energy around us, I'm tuned into the energy within me, and I use that to navigate my way through the week. And I have started to really focus in on a Monday around what is going on. What is going on with the planets, with the movements, and how that actually shows up in our physicality of our body. Because we are impacted. We're impacted by the moon, we're impacted by the sun, we're impacted by planets lining up in different positions, and it creates an energy. And that energy, we feel it. So, I am just going to run through this. This is really, I'm not going to go deep into the astrology. This is not what this is about. What this is about understanding what physical symptoms we might feel this week and what they're kind of like representing for us. So if you're looking for someone who's going to kind of tell you, well, the sun's moved into this position, it conjuncts this and it sextiles this and what that all means for you, then this probably isn't the right place for you. However, if you want a real quick snapshot at what physical symptoms are going to be created and that you might face this week because of the energy, then this is probably where you need to be. So I will touch on stuff, but I won't go into it. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I don't know if I'm making sense. Oh, this is what it's like. So let's go. So first of all, just to kind of like lean into this, in case you are new here, in case this is the first video that you've come across, we've been going through a shift. We've been going through winter. We're coming out of the back end of winter now. We're starting to move towards spring. And what comes with winter and that kind of like autumnal into winter, that kind of energy is identity shifts, movements, you moving into a different version of yourself. That's what the year is about. That's what we're about. We're about cycling and growing and moving up the spiral of versions of ourselves. And so we're coming out the back end of that now. So this is where we've felt into all the things that don't feel good in our life. We've reflected, we've maybe dug deep into them, we've released them, and now we're beginning to kind of form who we're going to be as we move out towards the spring. Obviously, we shift on the 21st into the final part of winter, and obviously on the 21st of March we've got the equinox. So that's what I'm kind of like looking towards. So I'm rabbiting on. I'm just trying to give you a bit of background, but let's dig into this. So Monday, the 16th of February, which is actually today. Okay, the energy that we're feeling today is kind of, so the sun has squared Uranus. So it's bringing with us this vibe of disruption, awakening, nervous electricity, okay? The energy that's being sent to us is sudden liberation, it's pattern breaks, it's voltage spikes. So when we think about what's been going on for us, which is why I wanted to give you that little bit of context, you can see how things are starting to move. We're starting to click in to who we're meant to be, okay? So how does this kind of show up in the body? Well, it's the adrenals, okay? It's your adrenals, okay? Tingling limbs, okay? Your startle kind of response is going to be heightened, okay? You might have jaw and neck tension. I do today. I absolutely do today. You might feel wired and tired. That is so me today. And you might be starting to feel, you might have had some irregular sleep. You might get irregular sleep. It's like we're going through these kind of like micro surges of energy, okay? The moon is also conjunct to Mars, which is all about emotional ignition. Okay, so energy that's coming down from that is heat, it's activation, it's instinct. So that is kind of like showing up. So we might be feeling some warmth in our chest, maybe our face, maybe we're getting flushed. Okay, maybe we're more irritable, that kind of fire, that kind of heat, you know. Head pressure, can you feel the pressure in your head? Again, I'm definitely feeling that symptom today. Digestive acceleration, everything's moving a bit quicker. And then muscle tightness. Moon and Mars energy often lands in the stomach and the shoulders. So anything stomachy, anything shouldery is probably linked to the energy around us. I feel like I've got a trapped nerve in this shoulder today. Interesting. Anyway, moving on to tomorrow. So tomorrow we have the solar eclipse in Aquarius. We're in new moon energy. We're starting that eclipse corridor, which is gonna be a bit kind of chaotic, disruptive energy. I always say, whatever you haven't sorted out that the universe wanted you to sort out prior to an eclipse, trust me, it's going to get sorted out in the eclipse. It's just going to get sorted out. So, you know, the eclipse puts you back on the pathway that you might have moved away from. Anyway, solar eclipse in Aquarius, it's all about this kind of idea of a timeline reset. Energy that's being sent to us is system upgrades, identity shifts, you know, all that kind of stuff towards the back end of that vibe that I was giving you right at the start. So we're talking about circulation. We're talking about ankles, your nervous pathways, electrical signaling in the body, okay? So it's all that kind of stuff. So it's going to impact your limbs. You're going to feel heavy limbs. You're going to feel sudden fatigue. You could feel cold hands, cold feet, vivid dreams. A bit of a disrupted circadian rhythm as this eclipse kind of takes effect. I've written down here, eclipses compress change, which is exactly what that is. And the body often tries to conserve energy to recalibrate. So tomorrow's quite a biggie. Okay, so Wednesday. Sun enters Pisces. That's all about dissolving things, dissolution, intuition and merging. The energy that's coming through is a softening and emotional permeability, okay? It's the lymphatic system, it's your feet, it's fluid balance, it's immune sensitivity, okay? So that might show up in you as puffiness. It might show up in sinus sensitivity. It might show up in just needing more sleep, okay? You might have lower stamina, emotional waves that you are just riding without any kind of real clear story of why you are up and why you are down. Remember, Pisces is water, those waves, you know? And, you know, water does show up as fluid retention and as fatigue. So that's kind of the vibe for Wednesday. Don't you love it? Isn't it just amazing? Thursday, okay, Moon in Aries conjunct to Saturn and Neptune. Moon in Aries conjunct Saturn and Neptune. God, am I even saying that right? Anyway, it's quite a lot. This is a lot, okay? You've got kind of vibes that are contradicting each other. So you've got Aries, which is initiation and heat. You've got Saturn, which is contraction and structure. Neptune, diffusion, illusion. So the energy being sent to us is push forward, but question reality, okay? What does that mean? What does that show up as? Chest tightness, okay? Aries rules the head, but Saturn constricts. Chest tightness, eye strain, lower back heaviness, deep sighing. I'm a sigher anyway, I'm always sighing. An energy push and then a sudden depletion, okay? The body can feel a bit confused between go or lie down, okay? So there's a bit of contradictive energy around us on Thursday. Okay, moving into Friday. Saturn conjunct Neptune, which is kind of like dreaming meets reality, okay? So the energy that's being sent is around structural restructuring, okay? So you've got Saturn ruling bones, teeth, joints, skin. You've got Neptune ruling immune system, hormonal fog, sensitivity. You know, these things when combined Okay, it could show up in joint stiffness, in literally bone level fatigue, dry skin, emotional heaviness, and heightened sensitivity to substances. So maybe Friday isn't the day to have that kind of bottle of wine. And the body's just going to feel heavier than usual, okay? Saturday, the 21st of February, the moon is sextile in Mars, which is all about kind of like harmonized action, okay? The energy being sent to us is controlled movement. So we're going to find things are going to start to feel better. Muscles are going to respond better. Energy is going to steady out. You're going to have better coordination, and your appetite, if it's been a bit all over the place for the last few days, is going to normalize. You know, the notes that I've written down is this is a recovery day. So we get a little bit of relax on Saturday. Okay? And then we're straight into Sunday. Venus is trine Jupiter. Okay? Venus trine Jupiter, which is all about expansion and pleasure. So Venus rules skin, kidneys, throat, hormonal harmony. Jupiter expands circulation. So what that's going to feel like or show up as is skin that glows, warmer fingertips and toes, warmer extremities, lifted mood, social energy, and a bit of a libido lift, okay? This is in general a blood flows better day. So when we think about the arc of this week is a very interesting week. All weeks are. We are going from this energy today of disruption, awakening, you know, sudden liberation, pattern breaking, nervous electricity, voltage spikes, you know, heat, activation, instinct, this emotional ignition, okay? That's where we are today. We're going to move into a system upgrade, an identity shift tomorrow, you know? Then we're going to move into this softening, this emotional kind of intuition, this merging of energy, just balancing things out. And then in Thursday, we're going to hit those kind of contrasting energies where we're going to be kind of initiation and heat, but contradiction and structure and diffusion and illusion. We're going to be pushed forward in, but questioning reality, you know? And then we're going to move into Friday, which is spiritual restructuring, dreaming meets reality, that kind of vibe, you know, heightened kind of sensitivity and things like that. And then Saturday, we get a breather, we get to recover. It's that calm day. And then Sunday, we kind of step into pleasure and we step into that kind of warmth, optimism, pleasure. So that gives us a bit of a vibe for the week ahead, right? It's going to be tough, guys, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. And notice as you go through the days, if you hit on these different energies, these different feels, these different vibes, it's important to understand that not everything is totally about you. The universe is working for you. It is pushing you through things so that you... Oh, I love it when something just comes through and I'm like, that was totally something that I was reading this morning, and it was about divine timing. Oh, it was in my journal. Give me 1 second. Let me find this. This just feels like it's important right now to say. Come on. Oh, what was it? It was something like, it isn't, you don't decide, you don't get to decide. The universe decides when you heal something, when you, what was it? You don't get to, so divine timing is there because you don't get to decide when you uncover things. You don't get to decide when you heal something. So everything flows, everything happens at exactly the right time. And you can't force that. You can't force something into being that isn't meant to be right now. You have to rely on that divine timing. And this is what the energy does for us. You know, there's a lot of stuff in that information, and the reason there's a lot of stuff in that information is because you might feel something that's related to your situation right now. Someone else might feel something different. It's linked, it's within a theme, but you know what's going on for you in your health, in your world, in your energy that you're holding on to, the energy that you're not releasing will show up in different ways in your body. So that's just to give you a guide. So I've written here, you don't control your healing, the universe does. You don't control when an old belief comes to be released, the universe does. It sends you energy, people, and activations. And if you are open to the energy, you will be led to overcome it naturally. Forcing your way into the subconscious, into past lives, and into the Akashic records is not trust or surrender. And you will find that through your obstacles, your challenges, the people who arrive in your world, the activations, the desires that you have in your life, that you will hit the, shall we say, triggers, the trigger points, the activations for you to overcome the thing that is stopping you right now and right here. And therefore, through kind of following that process, the universe is giving you the divine timing. You know, by not forcing it, by allowing it to happen, you are allowing the universal divine timing. And that is a little bit what this is linked to, because this is telling you what the universe is pushing into your field this week, okay? And I follow a lot of different energies. I'm seasonal. I live by the seasons, I live by the moon, I live by human design. I'm less into following astrology, which is why I don't go into the depths of it, but I use the astrology to give me information about how my body is going to respond to the energy around me this week. Obviously my body is going to respond to energy within me too, which is different, but we have to be aware of what the universe is sending us and how that is going to impact us to be able to decipher, is this me? Or is this the universe? And if it's the universe, why is this with me right now? And if it's me, why is this with me right now? And it's using that information to lead your life and to create and design and map and love and live an amazing life. Energy led. That's about it. I think I'm done. I will see you here next Monday with something the same, but for the next week. See you later.